Hello and welcome to F1OWC round 2 around Bahrain. I missed the 25% race, so I had to start from last place. But beautiful start, and ended up getting dynamite. Fletch doesn't really give me any room, but at the same time I wasn't exactly owed any. And there's a bit of a kerfuffle into turn 1. Many people lose their front wings, and I managed to somehow, if people know my track record, stay out of harm's way, which is rare for me. And a yellow flag for Dynamite, who unfortunately got spun at the exit of turn 2, and I tried to make it down the inside of B, and then Oscar, or Y-Tunes, loses it in front of me, and I lose position to B, and then they go side by side for 2 corners. I run off the track trying to leave him space, but yeah, there was no foul play for myself really, didn't overtake anyone illegally. As you can see, I make a very opportunistic move down the inside of Oscar, and this was just a kerfuffle, everyone going everywhere. Bozza unfortunately gets front wing damage, same with Big B, and then Bozza gets a illegal overtake on Big B, so that gives me another position, and then I'm right behind Shadlow as I almost get hit up the rear by Bozza. But basically, it was just chaos for the first lap, and I somehow managed to get out of it mainly unscathed. I do believe I got hit a couple of times, but it wasn't myself causing the collision. Obviously, I'm not going to go, oh, it was him, it was him, it was him, it was him. I believe the incidents I were in were racing incidents for the first lap, and I don't think anyone was to blame, but obviously I'm going to be biased to myself. But anyway, going on to lap 2, and it's a train from first to about, well, near enough first to last, and a lot of people end up holding themselves up over each other. As you can see, there's overtakes, because basically what's happened here is from the 25% race, it's a reverse grid, so the people that finished lower in the 25% get put to the front for the 50%, so it means that there's hectic races full of overtakes, and it does make for a very exciting race. Unfortunately, there can be a lot of incidents, but sometimes there can be clean incidents, and like right there, there's a bit of a awkward incident, but Steve didn't realise I was there, and to be perfectly fair, I get him back next corner. So yeah, and then up in front, Trent and Wayno are going side by side, and Trent cuts it too close, hits the curb, straight into Wayno, and that's 2 free positions as Steve gets caught up in the accident. And unfortunately for him, there's nothing much he can do. There was a gap there, and it got closed off pretty early, and now I'm off to catch Max and Ardy. As you can see, there's a purple first sector. It's not going to be a purple lap anymore because of this moment. I had a mini heart attack there, but luckily enough, able to downshift enough, and it caught my car. And now I have to, not per se recatch Max, because I stayed within DRS, but it means that I couldn't make a move until the next lap onto the main straight. And as you can see here, just sizing it up, medium into hot lap, and then from hot lap into overtake, and pretty easy move down the inside. Unfortunately, I just saw there he has front wing damage, so that possibly hindered his performance, but down the inside, and I am up into P4, so in 6 laps I've pulled 10 positions, which is pretty good, at least for my standards. I don't know about anyone else. And as you can see here, Dylan Anderson, the league owner and race leader, until he pulls into the pits there, and relinquishes the lead to me and Ardy. And Ardy was a bit naughty there. He might get a slap on the wrist for a double move, but to be perfectly fair, it wasn't like I was in a position to overtake, so he may get away with it. I don't really mind. But as you can see here, end of lap 8, and it's. I'm not gonna say basically done, but as people will know in this game, slipstream and DRS, especially on straights like Bahrain's, usually means an overtake's going to happen unless someone's defending exceptionally. But as you can see here, Ardy doesn't really defend and just simply relinquishes first place to myself, and through I go, and cock up the entrance a bit, but yeah, no, it wasn't a hard overtake. I was worried that he was going to make a move into this corner maybe, but he decided to stick behind, and here's at the end of lap 19. Nothing really happened for the rest of the stint. It was basically just a time trial against me and myself and Dynamite and Super Freak, but pull into the pits. There'll be a weird jump here because I had to split my recording, otherwise it wouldn't have made everything. But anyway, pulling in for the Super Softs. And now 2.5 was pretty good, and I was believing that I would get undercut, but something must have happened to Dynamite whilst he was going through, because as you can see, my pace on the mediums was just good enough to stay ahead, but I come out in the lead, which is a really good position for myself. But yeah, coming to the end of lap 20, and this is the fastest lap of the race, and unfortunately here I have a bit of a kerfuffle with Steve. As you can see, I sent him off to Narnia, even though I didn't hit him that hard, but he met the witch with how wide he went there. But yeah, at the end, me and Steve are in a party and basically we're joking about it. If he takes it to the stewards, he can take it to the stewards. Like I don't really mind per se, but up in the first sector, even with that little kerfuffle, and yeah, this is yeah. Like, I hate to say it like that, but this was my race to lose, and basically from there it was just simply just trying to keep the car on the track and not puncture the tyres. As you can see, I'm watching over them pretty diligently, just in case I decide to wear them out too fast. And yeah, it was just a case of monitoring everything. And this was the only lap that I went hell for leather, because I was just like, well, I need, because F1OWC just run the extra point for fastest lap, so I was like, this is my best chance to get that additional point, especially after missing the sprint races 2 weeks in a row, 2 races in a row. So I needed to get these points as fast as possible and across the line to set a 29.6. Oscar Grant will get within a tenth of that, and unfortunately he didn't have enough pace. However, this scared me. My controller disconnected because it ran out of charge, and I lost about a good 6 seconds to Dynamite. Fortunately enough, it was just that, 6 seconds, and Dynamite ended up DCing and lost third place, and then lost second place, and then eventually third to penalties because he had a 5-second on-serve stop-go. But yeah, no, it was this is just one of my most chill final laps, and it's just keeping the tyre wear down and just running my race. And yeah, apparently, according to Dylan Anderson, I did create history here by being Toro Rosso's first ever win, so that's pretty special. And as you can see, I was talking about that man. Dylan got a puncture on the final lap and ended up actually rolling his car off the exit of 3, which is dramatic to say the least. But anyway, Wayno had retired earlier on, and his ghost car scared the living crap out of me here, because this is not a corner that you want to be overtaken in AI, especially when it's going slower than yourself, because they just do some weird things. Just the best way to put it. But yeah, anyway, I negotiated it, and then going to the final corner, 72% of the tyres, so I could have run another lap, but I played it safe, and weaving across the line. This is my first win in F1 2019, I believe. I believe this is actually my first ever league race win in 2019, so yeah, that's something. But anyway, just watching Dynamite come across, his DC car come across the line, and that Max Payne comes through, and then there's the 5-second penalty, and Max Payne comes across the line to take third place from him by 7/10. So the championship leader, Dynamite, gets sort of kicked in the nuts there and sent back a bit. And as you can see, here's Y-Tunes comes across the line. There was quite a few people with 5-second unserved penalties. So that might be the glitch with the final corner, where if you run 2 tyres off, you just get a 5-second stop go straight up. And that sort of sucks if that was the case, and unfortunately it's out of their control, which does suck. Like, I've had it happen to me, and it does. It's a case of there's not much you can do, and you end up losing, like, the 5 seconds, even if you serve another pit stop, or 5 seconds when you cross the line, and it's not your fault. So unfortunately that happened to them, and we're just waiting for Fletch to come around the final corner to finish us off. He does a little weave for the 2 points he gets, actually, because it's double points for today's race. But as you can see, first place for myself. I get a love tap from a Renault behind me, and to the podium stands we go once we get off this black screen. As you can see there, an all Aussie podium, because because the only way this will happen is in virtual, unfortunately. As you can see, I hoist up the trophy for first place for what was one of my better wins I've had. But unfortunately, a lot of the positions I did gain were from people having incidents. So there's not much I can do. There's not much most people can do with that. But anyway, just another black screen until we get to the experience. But as you can see, I'm a pleb on this game. I have level 17. As you can see here, all the race results. So it was myself, from Ardy, from Max, from Dynamite, from Y-Tunes, from Spike, from Super Freak, from Big B to Bozza to Fletch. And yeah, this will be coming back next week for China. And hopefully I'll be there for both races, if not the final race. But anyway, I've been Stingray. Talk to you later.